Florida State just handling business yesterday against Syracuse. Final score, Florida State 41, Syracuse 3. Yes, they handle business against the team they're supposed to handle business against, but I think there's a little bit more to draw from this game than what meets the eye, so we'll break that down for you right now. Really quickly, though, make sure you're subscribed to the On3 YouTube channel, college football, only college football, every single day of the year. We have a live show for you 3 times a week, the hard count right here on this platform. We get in here, we talk ball, we'll get in the live chat, we have a good time. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that, but it's 11 a.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 11 a.m. Eastern, that is. So make sure you don't miss that. You can follow me on socials, Instagram, Twitter, at JD Pakel, to make sure you stay up with everything that we got going on here. So we appreciate y'all in advance for that. Couple of notes from the game, man. Like Keon Coleman, a lot of people already knew this, but just him going up and snagging the one-handed stick-em. I mean, like he's an Avenger. Can we just all agree on that? Keon Coleman is an absolute freak show. I'm not so sure he's not the best wide receiver in the country, not named Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he will be a Biletnikoff Award finalist, just so we're all on the same page and we have that statement out there. We've already said that once. We'll say it again. Keon Coleman is a dude, and he elevates Florida State in the pass game tremendously. Jordan Travis saw him get dinged up a little bit. Heart stopped a little bit if you're a Florida State fan, but then he got back in the game, looked like he was good to go. I mean, he's just gritty week in and week out. We saw them play against Clemson up close and personal, and he took shot after shot after shot and just continued to get up off the turf, go back and play the next play. So good to see him healthy and come back into that game. But Jordan Travis, man, like when you see your quarterback laying it out there on the line for his team and to do good things when he comes back into the football game, like that inspires a lot of confidence, and that's someone you want to go follow. The biggest takeaway from this game, for me, yes, it was Syracuse. I'm not worried about that. Florida State ran the football well, really well, to the tune of 5.6 yards a carry, almost 200 yards rushing. That was what was missing against Clemson. Now, Clemson, really good front seven, but you had kind of been waiting a little bit for that Florida State run game to really click. Like you knew it was there from last season. Alex Atkins, the offensive coordinator there, I say this a lot with offensive coordinators and with coaches in general, like you can't change where you're from. I'm not talking about geographically. I'm talking about where you are from a football background. Alex Atkins, offensive line coach, he wants to run the ball. He wants to be physical in the trenches, and Florida State was exactly that yesterday, but not just on the trenches, also on the perimeter. Like you saw a couple of runs where whoever it was toting the rock, maybe it was Toa Feely, maybe it was Travis on a quarterback design run, whatever it ended up being, you saw the tight ends and the wide receivers on the outside for Florida State really do a good job mixing it up. And that's something that I think bleeds into the entirety of your operation if you're Florida State. Like if your wide receivers are going to block and mix it up, your entire team's physical. Because that's usually, speaking from experience, that's usually the last element of your football team that, is going to get on the physicality train, if you will. Now, I'm not saying that about Florida State's wide receivers. I'm just saying you can tell a lot about a team by the way that their perimeter players block, and the way that Florida State's perimeter players blocked yesterday told me a lot about the edge they play with. So that was encouraging to see. The schedule that's left for Florida State now is a little bit trickier than maybe you would have perceived a couple of weeks ago or even before the season began. At Pitt could end up being sneaky, but you got Duke for homecoming. We'll see what happens with Riley Leonard playing in that football game. We'll kind of keep a gauge on that throughout the week. We'll give you our pick for that game this upcoming Tuesday on the live show, 11 a.m. Eastern, so make sure you're dialed in for that. Physical football team is Duke. Mike Elko, well coached, That'll have its own challenges that it'll present. You didn't really probably peg Duke as being too difficult of a game before the season began. Miami, even though they've lost the last two, I still think that's a good football team. At Florida, Florida's been sneaky this year. They've shown that they can be a factor week in and week out. They've shown they can do some really good things. Look at the Tennessee game. Look at what they did against South Carolina. They're kind of starting to find their rhythm, are the Gators. And then potentially, the way that they're trending right now, Florida State will play for the ACC title. So with all those things out there now for Florida State, it's on them. It's on them. Like I look at all these games, and to be 100% honest with y'all, just like between us, I think Florida State has the roster to win all those games. I think Florida State, with what they did against LSU, what they did against Clemson, have probably proven a lot to themselves internally to bolster a lot of that confidence as well for those games. But it's got to be an every single Saturday thing. It can't be a thing where you're looking ahead to a certain game and you're looking ahead to the next one and then you end up not bringing your A game like we saw them play against Boston College the week before Clemson. It's got to be every single Saturday. The variance has got to be minimal for Florida State to get to where they want to go. And so to see them handle business against Syracuse in the fashion that they did, I think that's a tremendous step in the right direction, a tremendous step towards solidifying the way they go about their business, because that's exactly what it was. It was all business. And I think what I'm curious now for the rest of the way for them is their best game still out there. I'm curious. I mean, I happen to believe that it is. Clemson game was great. They only ran for like 20 yards. Game against LSU, they played well, but still, I don't know if they put two great halves together. If Florida State's best game is still out there and they get it towards the end of the year, or they're playing their best football even in November, like they're going to be a very, very difficult out. The way they're trending right now, I think gave a lot of people a little bit more confidence in Florida State from what they played or what they did yesterday in that game and how they played yesterday. Because you had the Boston College game that you were looking at and saying, makes you feel a little uneasy. The way they played against Clemson, even though they won that game, some people still felt uneasy. I think yesterday was a great stabilizing game for Florida State and for a lot of people that watch Florida State from the outside looking in. So all that's to say, Florida State was physical in the trenches, on the perimeter, have an edge about themselves, and they are capable, more than capable, of winning every single game left on their schedule. They got some tricky ones, but no test they can't pass. So we'll talk about it. Again, we'll pick that game against Duke this coming Tuesday, Prediction Tuesday, right here on the Hard Count on the Author YouTube channel, 11 a.m. Eastern. Don't miss it. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. I'll let you know when we're going live. We'll have a good time, and we'll just talk some ball. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.